Hey everybody, let's do a reading. I want to do a pick a card, and I'm kind of coming up with this on the fly. So let's do a reading. Kind of want to go for the holidays. So let's see what kind of holidays you will have. And I'm, it's hard to figure that out because there's a lot to do with free will. And I've also got to say, like, there's a ton of different variables. And like when you're asking the universe to be predictive in a tarot card reading about something that's going to happen in the future, that's where the energy is at. Like the universe is putting X together so X happens, but it doesn't always happen that way because there's so many variables, especially with free will. Now there's a little less free will than there was at the beginning of when I first got onto YouTube last month. There's a little less free will available right now. But that being said, still, like for example, I did a reading where I let someone know when the answers to some of their problems were going to come, and the timeline was pretty specific in terms of when the energy saw it coming forward. But you got to be really careful because, like, I can't say the middle of November is when this is going to happen. For sure, that's when it should happen, but there's a lot of variables at play. A lot of maybe you're supposed to turn right when you turn left situations. And so, it's not always, it can't ever be predictive 100%. But let's see about the holidays. And I'm talking about like November through the end of December, those holidays. I have this beautiful, wonderful, delicious little new deck. We're going to also pick a card by cars because that's fun. Let me go ahead and get these two cards sorted out for our somewhat predictive holiday extravaganza between mid-November and the end of December. What's going on? What does it look like? Got two different cards is all I want. It's a fun little deck, but this is the first official time I've used it, so it's like training wheels. And I was gonna wait until I turned the camera on. I was gonna wait, until the cards were figured out before I turned the camera on, but I didn't. So I will give you the bottom card energy. It's the Travelers, which is a card specific for this particular deck, which is awesome. It's a wild card. It's a free card for this deck that doesn't exist in most tarot. So that's cool that was the bottom card. All right, we've got two cards. Let's give enough room to clarify a little bit. So I'm going to, for folks who haven't done this before, I'm going to give you two automobiles, and you should pick the automobile that resonates with you within a second, with less than a second, and then that automobile will be attributed to one of these cards with a flip of a coin. Okay, so for the automobiles, you should instantly decide. Okay, so Nissan Maxima or BMW 3 Series. And you should definitely have decided by now, okay? You set Nissan Maxima, BMW 3 Series. If it's a Nissan Maxima, if it's heads, and if it's BMW 3 Series, if it's tails. I'm just gonna say BMW from now on because that's a mouthful. Okay, ready? And I scared the dogs. It's heads. So it's the Nissan Maxima here, BMW here. Maxima 3 Series. Maxima 3 Series. Okay. All right, Maxima folks, are you ready? Let's see what kind of holiday season you're going to have. Freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. This is a beautiful, you can see why I love these cards so much. Look, they have this excellent paperweight. Highly recommend. This is the Curious Travels Tarot deck. Highly recommend. I actually saw them for the first time on Nicholas Ashbaugh's channel, and I had to get some. So little gold foil, gold leaf there, and then just a beautiful linen type paper, great weight, very easy to shuffle. So this is her iteration of the sun. Absolutely gorgeous and flowerful. Yeah, everything you could want. Absolute bliss, joy, deliciousness. Little bit of time to yourself. Probably a lot of time with family. I'm feeling like it's really everything you wanted. There is still a little undercurrent of something's missing. So let's see if maybe we can get, because I'm very much drawn to the darkness behind her, even though that was probably an artistic choice for the aesthetics of the picture. I'm drawn a little bit to the darkness. So I'm going to use the Rider-Waite-Smith to clarify for you lovely Maxima people. But overall, gosh, it looks like you're going to have, well, the energy is with you to have a great end of November and December overall. The energy's there. So what does that mean? It means you just got to tap into it in order to get it. So let's do a little clarifying. I'd really like to know why I pay attention to the dark blue, the dark teal in this, and the fact that the horse has no hooves. That really, really bothers me. I'm sorry. Look at that. I mean, I understand, again, aesthetics, but gosh, quicksand horse. You know, I don't know. I'm not going to notice anything that isn't important, right? I notice it for a reason. Well, not getting closer, but there's a lot of, I think maybe your joy comes a little bit unexpectedly. Maybe the bliss and the happiness and the warm feelings are not planned currently. Maybe they're to be determined in the future based on and bearing whoever you meet. Oh, it definitely. So, yeah. So I think a lot of it is about free will and deciding where you want to go and who you want to be with this year. But the star is there, so it doesn't get any more auspicious than that. Oh my gosh, the High Priestess. I'm kind of scared. Yeah, okay. Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh, Maxima people. Come on now. Look at you. All right, so very, very auspicious. And you know, the Wheel of Fortune isn't here, but I really do get that sense the Wheel of Fortune is with us in this reading. It's very much in your time to have a great, and maybe it's not as exciting or robustly celebratory or blissful as maybe the dreams that you've had, but it is amazing nonetheless. And I think I think you get a little bit of lucky, and I think you get a lot of grace, a lot of response from the universe. Maybe, you know, fortune after difficulty, even though we don't have a Six of Wands, I'm feeling that energy too. But I think there's an element of family, especially, and tradition, and a little bit of expectation that I think you actually lean into for the better. There is a tiny little bit of overthinking and conflict, and that could be with family or that could be in your own head. But with the Five of Wands, it's really nothing big to worry about. And at least there's movement. At least it's kinetic. At least it's not boring. And then it's bookended by the sun. Like, what more could you want? I think there's, the universe wants this to happen. So if you picked a Nissan Maxima, expect that you're going to have a great time. Make choices in that direction. Yeah, and I think it is definitely on your horizon, as long as you kind of flow with the energy. Okay, now we could have two great cards. We could have one good card and one not so good card. Let's see what we have for the BMW 3 Series. Oh, now I'm nervous. Wow. Okay. So we have the Queen of Wands. Not bad in this position. So also a lot of possibility. Look at her. What a great card. And the little cat. This is just such a cute deck. I'm going to push Maxima over here so there's not that glare. Okay. Sorry about that. We'll deal with it until we don't. So let's pull on the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands has... The Queen of Wands is showy. So if you are the type of person to post a lot on Instagram or to show people either about your relationships, your families, your good times, I'm seeing you have a lot of potential for that. So if you're wanting content to post over the holidays and you want your matching sweaters and pajamas, and I don't know, that's a lot of feminine energy, and I don't usually pull that from this group that I sit with when I pull cards. But if that's your thing, if you are a pumpkin spice boy, B-O-I, boy of pumpkin spice, then this would be you. Tell me that I'm wrong with picking also the BMW 3 Series. Anywho, so it is what it is. I'm not a huge fan of BMWs. I love y'all, but it is what it is. So, yeah, if that's your thing, if you want to get all down and dirty in a pumpkin patch and take pictures and post it on Instagram, this is for you. This is for you. It's very showy. There's a lot of there's a lot of show and expression and attention involved with the Queen of Wands. You want attention? You've come to the right place. Okay, I really feel like this is it, although I'm going to be surprised. Yep, it's the World as the bottom card, and Temperance. The Three of Wands. Remember what our bottom card was travel. Remember that? That's coming back, especially with you 3 Series folks. The Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. Yeah, so in this case, the Ten of Swords is like, we all have struggles, right? We all have things that we're going through. I think of these two groups of folks, this was definitely the BMW 3 Series was the folks that have had struggles this year. So that being said, the Ten of Swords would indicate that those struggles of, getting those knives in your back you're at the very dead end of that struggle period. You're ready to jump off the struggle bus and go on some travels. And I really do see that. So I would go so far as to say maybe you are traveling for the holidays. Maybe, and just maybe, you're actually taking a trip by yourself or visiting folks and traveling by yourself. And that's where these great opportunities for beautiful posts and being on social media and showing everyone the world and what you can do really shows up. But I think that the Temperance card probably showed up for a reason, and you might have some issues along the way with these travels or with family or whoever you meet along the way. So just be patient and calm and have those have those beautiful experiences. But I think that you have a lot of very strong new beginnings and possibilities. This Ace of Pentacles is coming out of this Ten of Swords. This Ten of Swords is ending and your Ace of Pentacles is starting. Beautiful new beginnings. Maybe have something to do with work, maybe have something to do with moving. So if you might find yourself a new home out of these travels. And it could be just travels in your own mind. Honestly, it could be travels in the land of imagination. You could get, on a smaller level if that's not the kind of person you are, or if it's, on a different level, if that's not the kind of person you are, it could just be that you get really involved in several good books over the holiday and really enjoy those. That's fine too. And post about those. That's great too. I think you get a lot of fulfillment out of that. So I love that for you. That's great. So two very good holiday seasons, which I love. Now, let's see if we can pull a little bit of bridging energy. And if you'll notice, what do these two energies have in common? If you notice, right off the bat, we've got these two beautiful faces in this deck. And those faces aren't common in this deck. You can see, there's a lot of faceless characters and there's a lot of animals. So to have those two show up is pretty cool. And they're both they look like suns as well. So I think, maybe I don't even have to pull a bridging energy because we see this sort of effervescent, dreams fulfilled sort of Disneyland. Maybe you're going to Disneyland over here traveling. This sort of Disneyland experience, this larger than life. And that could happen in dreams too. If you're literally too busy and you're working through the holidays, maybe it's just about your dream life and about escaping into the fifth dimension and enjoying your time over there. You can get really woohoo about it if you want to, and that's fine with me. So let's see here. Someday I'll share a little bit about lucid dreaming, which is really amazing because it's completely, you can completely control lucid dreaming to the point where you can have whatever dream you want to. And it's really a beautiful thing. Okay, so we've got the Page of Wands as the bottom card for the bridging energies. I think I might just pull one, maybe two cards. Okay, the Five of Swords and the Chariot, but this is a different Chariot card. And then we also have the Eight of Cups. Okay, I think there is very much that fortune after difficulty sort of feeling. And both of these energies are coming out of something. A little bit of pain, a little bit of sorrow throughout the last year. I definitely think that it was the 3 series that sort of withstood the most of that and coming out of it with the Ten of Swords. But bridging those energies is the Eight of Cups, the Chariot, and the Five of Swords. So I want you to see if you could look at it from the perspective of gratitude. And I think that will help both of these energies really advance into this place of the Sun and the Queen of Wands, is if you embrace what has evolved over the last year, and it hasn't been easy for a lot of us, and just recognize the things to be grateful for within that, even if it's been terrible, the lessons that you've learned and what has happened that has strengthened or galvanized your spirit and the way that you move through life, and be grateful for that. I think that is probably the platform from which this just springboards. So to be able to look back as fall comes, right? As we move through October, through this season of judgment and Libra season, in this sort of emotional time of, for many different reasons. And move into November, just take stock of what to be grateful for, and then start taking those opportunities as they come forward, because there's so much to look forward to and to be fully immersed in. And you can kind of write your history with these things and acknowledge these heartbreaks, these challenges, these battles that you have fought, recognize that, and then move forward, right? So I think that's the real story behind both of these energies, is you've had obstacles and challenges, and you realize that that's actually the way to success. And so you've ended up embracing them. So that's great. That's great, because that is how you bring about these wonderful feelings, is just keep the flow going in the positive. So fantastic energies. I'm very excited. I hope it comes true for all of you. And remember that all the tarot readings in the whole entire world are at least a little enhanced or biased toward the reader of the cards. So nobody reads tarot in a vacuum. So we're all going to have slightly different interpretations, and we're all going to lead forward with our own experience of this earth. So keep that in mind when you watch different tarot readers. Regardless of who it is very much influenced by who they are. And then, try to learn something one way or the other, because tarot is just for entertainment, but it's really my intention that everybody kind of maybe learn something or have a shift in perspective in the way. And definitely, if you're leaning towards tarot, then your inclination is towards spirituality in general. And I encourage that 1000%. The more you learn about yourself. So I hope this reading was helpful. Good luck, everybody.